Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to a brand new season here at Turbos and Bullets. Of course, season 3 under F1 2020, and but a little bit of a different setup this season again. First part of the season, which will be the first 5 races, will be F2 races, where the second half will be F1 races. Of course, F2 will be a full feature race, followed by a full sprint race with the reverse grid, just like actual F2 weekend. So of course, as you can see, we are in quali. Of course, 30 minutes of quali. No quali 1, 2 and 3 like you normally would see with F1. So a couple of cars already going out. 9 drivers so far on the grid, but we do hope to see more guys joining short. Of course, load shedding is back. A couple of guys are late, and unfortunately some of them will be missed the race completely. But we hope that there will be a few guys still making it as soon as they have power again. We just, as always, just want to get some details updated here for us, as you can see what is fitted. Here we go, just to get the full map. Here we go. But we'll just leave this one on for now. Well, not nice that way. We'll try a little bit with different things maybe this season. Of course, I do know some of you want to see the live timings. You see that mini map still there as well, so you can see who's who, or at least where on the track. Of course, here at Interlagos, here for race 1. One of those great tracks if you want, classic track if you want. But 8, 9 out of 10 people have this as one of their favorite tracks. Not sure why, but it's just one of those tracks you love coming here and just go for it. Of course, F2 cars is a bit different compared to F1, so just see who can make that adaptation and just get to grips with a car as well as the track. You saw very briefly Staffy going fastest, just of course being the first car out. Immediately, almost by a full second, RGDV goes faster. We've got not Maverick coming around now to start hard lap. Of course, just to keep in mind that the guys do have a certain F1 team and they do have a certain F2 team. Of course, as you can see, not Maverick teaming up here with not Kimi, also out on track now. Both of them be for Campos. Of course, F1 they will be in the McLaren, so you can see the resemblance in the color scheme. Staffy, of course, he is there. You can see the BWT team, of course. They will be with his teammate, of course, is not here tonight, couldn't make it. He will be back next race. But they are actually also, the F1 team is, what you call it, Racing Point, sorry about that. So Staffy and you is his partner. They basically they have Racing Point as the F1 team, and of course here as you can see what the F2 car looks like. Again, the resemblance just like with Campos and McLaren boys. Same story here with Kimi and with Staffy and you. The F2 car and the F1 car livery is pretty much the same. Of course, not everybody have that privilege. Not all of them look the same, but as you can see, the McLaren and the Campos look the same. Of course, here, as you can see, the pink there, as well as that Racing Point, pretty much the same. Then John is here, also back this season. Another season with the TNB boys. Welcome back, John. One guy who couldn't make it tonight is, of course, Mr. Safwan Ronald, load shedding, and I think it's also affecting his partner for this season because he's also not here. I do understand that they will be in the Red Bulls, and the F2 cars also look pretty much the same. Of course, one of the new guys here is Z-Side Scope, or Kaleidoscope as people also call them. One of the new drivers here at TNB this season. One of the new drivers. Of course, going full 100% races this season. So welcome there, Z-Side, or Kaleidoscope, or just as people say in short, Scopy. Let's keep an eye on scope and see what if he can take the fight to more settled in boys here. So far, there we go. We got Legend still to go out, as well as Force and Not Fernando. Of course, as always, Staffy is one of those guys who like to go out early. For Not Fernando, wait a little bit. For Staffy, nice to see him back in the mix after missing last season. Of course, Not Fernando's teammate there, Mr. Not Sebastian. He might hopefully make it still, just depending on if his power comes back on in time. But they were in the Prema team. Of course, Prema and F1 will be Ferrari. No secret there either. Just want to, just get my facts right here. Because I keep holding. There we go. Arden, that is Staffy's team. Arden. Sorry guys, I don't watch that much F2, so I don't know the F2 cards of heart. But yeah, it's Arden and of course Racing Point, as I said. Both having a BWT sponsor. Left side's team of course is ART and the Alpha Tauri when it comes to F1 later. Force of course in Virtuosi and the Renault in F1. When two of the new boys, hopefully they can make it. Of course it's all about load shedding. So another two drivers to be on grid this season is Razor 082 and GJ Buerta. Of course, as I said, load shedding affecting a lot of drivers tonight. So those two is at the Alfa Romeo team, or basically the High-Tech GP as well for F2. So hopefully in future races we will see more of these guys. Riding here, Jean coming into the pits now. Let's ride. Currently they, or Scopy, currently they're in 6th place. Haha. Hello Mr. Boykie Shop. You Ronald, how can I join this league? Funny boy, very funny boy. Meantime he's already in this league. You can join by getting an inverter or a generator, then you won't have to be on the sideline watching thanks to Eskom. I know it's not by choice, it's more by force thanks to Eskom. But it's one of those when you won't need to watch, and you can be part of it. Okay, see Force talks about some rain at the race end, so also we'll see how that goes. Of course, Brazil, there's always the possibility of rain. 19.5 minutes to go of this qualification. So Jean has changed compound. Playing the longer game perhaps. The Legends eventually out on track. Of course, teammate to RDDV currently sitting in first place. Dams, of course, and Mercedes in F1 later. Riding here with Mr. Not Fernando, with Prema. Yeah, it's actually a bit of a crappy one, not having Boinkies here. Funny enough, I never thought I would say that, But yeah, not nice having Boinkies here. And of course Boinkies his teammate. Thank you Eskom for buggering this up, as always. But yeah, just leave it to freaking Eskom to know how to bugger up some races, whole plans for a Friday night. Of course, currently in the pit, still no time posted. Of course, for those of you watching, I know some of you already did, thanks for that. But of course, for the others watching, feel free to post comments there, be part of the chat. Actually makes it interesting and make the time go fast as well, especially when you're alone in the comms box. Taffy out again. Give me that pink Arden, see if he can improve. So far, everybody pretty much in the 117s, only RZDV thus far to go under 117. See, yeah, doesn't matter what league you are in, thanks to Eskom you bug it. Thank goodness for stuff like inverters. I know it's not easy for everybody, but yeah, if you don't have that, Eskom is just causing more and more frustration. "70 minutes ago and it looks like it is getting a bit darker here. No more sunlight. Force, we might have some of that rain of yours here in Quali already. Not that it's going to change anything, that will just play into... Oh wow, look at that. Legend faster than his teammate. A guy that's actually getting better and better, of course, made the transition to wheel at the end of last season. I think literally his last race or last two races he did with a wheel, just getting faster and faster. He's actually faster than his teammate at the moment. So he will definitely be happy if it starts raining now, because then he's pretty much confirmed of a pole position, because at the end of the day, rain now will just make the track slower, so no one will improve on their toes. No, you can't hear ice blocks. I'm fresh out of blocks. Under 16 minutes now, still no indication if Force is going to go out or not. Everyone else pretty much did a lap or two, no laps as yet there from Force. F2 of course just also make things a little bit more interesting, opens it up a bit. Some of the guys being very fast with the F1 cars, struggling a bit with the F2, and the guys that's being slower with the F1 cars get actually more speed with the F2, so it just changes things around. And it also just, you know, I don't want to say teach for guys because we already know it, but it just changes things around, you know, let the guys change mentality, adapt a bit, driving style to change a little bit to accommodate as per if the car handles a bit different. Of course, I do know some guys are always, they're used to going up to 8th gear, now you're just getting down to 6. There's of course no ERS as well, but you still have DRS. Now, true that also, as Ronald said, it's not a track that's that commonly known. It's not that much of a abrasive track when it comes to tyres. Not Maverick very close to going under 117. Can he take the fight to those dams, boys? His teammate currently in 5th. Not much between them as you can see. From 3rd to 7th, there's not a lot in it. And those dance boys in the 116s, it's not that far in, so it's still pretty much anyone. If anyone can just get a good solid lap together, get some pace, we can still see that order change. Of course, if we see rain now, then that order is pretty much confirmed. So Ron, I take it Wes is also on the same load shedding schedule as you. That's actually a bad one because now both have no points for the team at all, and F2 is actually the races you want. Because you get points for the main race and you get points for the sprint race, and it's the same points count, so it's pretty much double points while we're doing F2. And those F2 races you don't want to miss. Especially that it's so close and it can be anybody's race. Thanks for that, thanks for confirming, Ron, as I already suspected. Yeah, because Wes is also not just a guy who's known to just stay away. So the guys there in PE are swearing, especially if they are sim racers. Last thing you want to see is a Eskom load shedding schedule when you're a sim racer. Especially when that load shedding is at night. That car looked like a bit of a handful coming through that first sequence of corners there. There we go, not Maverick just getting, well, just sailing past his teammate. Of course, Kimi is on the outlap, so he's still, you know, just warming things up. Easy to just get out of the way and let the faster car through, especially if it's your teammate. Last thing you want is to bug up your own teammate's lap, or even worse, crash with him. Number one rule, golden rule in F1 as well as F2, any motorsport for that matter: do not tangle up with your teammate. Speaking of which, glad to see that Alpine confirmed there's no number one, even with the experienced Fernando Alonso in the mix. Let's hope it stays like that. It's always good to see inter-team challenges, and if there's no F1, if there's no drum but number one or two, that both drivers race for it in all out, then you see more action on track. And hopefully with regulations changing next year, we will also see more closer battles and more fights on track, and not just runaway victories as we currently see. Yeah, because your F2 car is not as hard on tyres as your F1 car, so yes, it does take a little bit longer for them to warm up. But you can still destroy them actually quickly if you don't know how to manage your tyres through some of these turns. How do I know? You are actually, for all I know, you're already on the pole at home, entertaining the missus. But yeah, of course, Paul will talk about Paul. Paul said they need to submit by lap. Of course, that whole lap, which they got the pole position, the entire lap needs to be sent to the steward for scrutiny to just validate the lap. Of course, as pole position still get extra points. Not as many as previous seasons. There's a slight tweak in point system this season as well. So instead of a full 5 points, your pole position will now be 4 points. If I'm talking under correction. Yeah, there we go. Not Sebastian is online, so it means his power is restored. So he will be making his way in here. Yes, he will miss quali, but at least he will make the race. We'll start at the back, but he's still part of it. 100% race. Anything's possible. So he just came online, so hopefully we'll see his name pop up shortly there, but he's on his way. Ronnie, you look, oh my word, yes, how Staffy, we didn't even talk about you, but okay. You know what they say, eh? Those who cry first normally are the ones who have something to hide, so I'll probably take you as one. So yeah, just to confirm that the pole setter will need to submit their lap for validation in order to get that bonus point. Of course, if they don't send that lap to be validated, those extra points will not be awarded. Also, the other change is, of course, in the last couple of seasons, if both drivers, or like when we did for multiplayer cars where it was 3 drivers in team, where all drivers of the same team are on the grid, there's a bonus point. There we go, not Sebastian is in, he joined the lobby. He's going to be in time for the race. Let's hope a few other guys might have the same luck. I know the PE boys won't. Very frustrated as can be. So those extra points for all drivers of a team on the grid, that's gone. That's no longer in, and that's also with load shedding stuff. So if one guy can't make it because of load shedding, you know, it doesn't mean that the other guys now get the points and he don't, because it was something out of his control that resulted in him not being able to join. There we go, not Sebastian showing. He's currently showing 10, so he might actually still be able to get a lap or two in if he can get out quickly. Staffy retires. He felt he did enough. He's happy. And we're just under 8 minutes to go. Foss looks like he's not going to come out. Still no lap time there. Or is he finally making a move? Looks like Foss is on his way. So that looks like actually we have a Prema. But no, that's actually the other Prema should be more red. So this can be Foss for a moment, because I clicked on not Sebastian and then he showed me this guy. So no, looks like that is definitely Foss on his way out. Finally Foss decided to make a move. He's definitely on his way out, so Foss is now going to put in a lap or two. Is not Sebastian going to be able to go out? And if so, is he going to go out? 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes to go. Not Fernando on another out lap. Not Maverick on his way out again as well. So Staffy, the only guy who's decided enough's enough. He's not going to bother anymore. Still no change in front. Still both jams. But as I say that, RGDV is on his way out again. And not Sebastian is out of track. There we go. Is the other Prema boy. The red and white on the one Prema, of course, and then the red and blue on the other Prema. Of course, a bit of white as well, but more distinctively that blue lines. Of course, in F2 the two cars are not identical in liveries. Of course, yellow and red here in F2. Of course, when it comes to F1, he will be in yellow and black. So red and black, yellow and black when it comes to F1. I see he's got a black and red helmet, so maybe he might change it to yellow and black as well to match when he goes F1 for the second half of the season. Keep an eye on not Maverick, of course, different tyre strategy here. Of course, next week will be Belgium, also F2 cars. As I said earlier, the first 5 races will be F2 and then the last 5 will be F1. Right, now Sebastian coming up this uphill section now. Slight left, flat out of course, DRS will pop open. Start finish line coming up, and that puts him in 5th. Good solid lap to start with, first hot lap on the medium tyres, and he puts it in 5th. Jean currently sits in 3rd. Jean, the 3rd driver to go under 117. As I said, F2 makes it a lot more closer. Guys that you normally see towards the back or middle, you now see in front, which is a good thing. and as you can see there, 500 is all that separate him and RJDV. So Jean will be confident, surely he will be fancy his chances. Hey Steph, yeah, I can understand the comment there, because he got kicked down from his high horse to 5th place. Not too much, not too worry Steph, it's still a long race. You love 100% races, that's normally when you come into your own, so let's see what happens. 3 minutes to go. Got Sebastian coming through for another lap to finish, and he improves another place. Now going faster but not Maverick, he's into 4th. Very close to the 117, or well, very close, yeah, it's all above 117, but not far off to go under 117, and he's actually on the harder tyre. Looks like he might be on his way back to the pits. So if he can put on a soft set of soft, yo, you might be able to challenge in front, but I think it's more about playing, it's more about the race strategy than going fastest. So just keep an eye on this. So Jan is going out and he's again back on the harder tyre as he tried a little bit earlier. Yeah, Steph, you say no practice, yeah, but you don't know what happened before the race. But yeah, I doubted that he had any sort of proper practice. I don't think he had a proper lap since before the race, because of what happened. But yes, that's also a valid one there, Steph. It's freaking close. It's only 10th place, that's in 118, of course, a guy that's still getting used to this. But pretty much, as you can see, all the way down from 1st to 9th. Yes, there's 3 guys in the 116s, but it's still high 116s. And those guys in the 170s are actually in the low 117s. Not much in it. And this will make you say, but why can't we do F2 all the time? It makes things so much closer. Of course, sunlight did come out, as you could see. It's been out for a little bit after, for a moment, a brief moment earlier. It looked like it might actually close up and rain even in quali, but luckily not. So, ooh, and then one of the Campos guys with a spun there. I think that might be Maverick. Indeed, it is. He's on his way. Of course, as Not Kimi calls him, not Campos, but Campo ES. 14 seconds remaining. Because Not Maverick, Dot Sebastian is going slow. Not Maverick will also not improve on his time. Jean coming through. Force a 165. Where did I think those Dams boys will be saying a few words which is not going to be suitable to mention here. Out of nowhere, sat still in the pits for how long? All of a sudden, boom! 116.5, so that's a whole 3 tenths, almost a full 3 tenths faster. Well, it's a very interesting one. A couple of guys decided to go soft, 2 guys only on mediums. But looking at those times that they put on the mediums, and the mediums are not that far off. So I would say mediums not a bad option. Might not be as fast as the soft when you start, but it's going to last longer. Staff, it's raining at places, so internet is buggered in some places. Okay, we're just waiting for a few more guys. Well, if I say a few more guys, just Force to make his way back and retire. Everyone else pretty much has retired or over the finish line. Legend did half of a lap of his teammate and still went faster. But Force left it for the very last possible moment to steal this. Now can he actually take this, have a good start and a good race and do something about this? Of course, yes, it's good to be fast. It's always an extra bonus to be on pole. You're right in front of a grid. But can you do something about it comes race time? There we go, Force is retired and this session then will pretty much be over. Right, just confirmation, as I said earlier, we're now 10 drivers on the grid. And otherwise, if it wasn't for Eskom, it would have been more. So we got Vos on pole. It does show him there with 4 points. But of course we don't work on that. We have our own point system. So Force will need to submit his quali lap for validation. Well, that lap that he did for pole position on, just to get validated by the stewards to confirm. So he can get his bonus points, which coincidentally is also 4. So we got Legend in second, lining up with him on the first row. RDV third, with Jean next to him on fourth. Not Sebastian, not Maverick will line up on the third row. Staffy and Kimi on the fourth, and then on the fifth row we have Not Fernando and Scope. And no, Staff, Scope, I'm not referring to a certain magazine back in the day when you were still a little lighty. Oh no, there we go. Scopey has left the session. Wonder if that is Eskom now kicking in there by him, or if it's a network connection or a RQR move. But let's hope he, whatever way, if it's just a disconnect, let's hope he can rejoin. Because this is actually a very, very, very bad time to disconnect. This transition from qualifying to the race. Because normally if you get kicked out here, it's tough to get back in and you're not going to be in time when the race starts. And if you're not on the grid when the race starts, you will not be able to rejoin. You need to be on the grid part of the start, and if you disconnect after the start, then you will be able to rejoin. Right, just waiting for the last two guys, all but 2 seconds to go. There we go. Formation lap. Right, we just have a full track map here so we can see again who's where on the track. Lap data stuff, that's fine, we will leave this, and then there we go. We can just see who's done what tyres. See, Staffy did change his tyres. Now you see Not Sebastian also changed tyres, so they're not going to go not be qualified. Staffy was the one going on the harder compound. Way out of sync with the rest of the guys, but you know what, this might actually pay off. 40 laps to go. Of course, F2 race is shorter than F1. F1 race normally is what, 78 laps about? 72, between 72 78, yeah, but it is in the 70s, and yeah, already F2 race is 30 laps plus less. Of course, sprint race will also be a little bit shorter than this even. Of course, who can make a brilliant start here? Who will be the winner? Of course, you don't want to be the loser. Left side is showing there. Just want to have a look here. Yeah, that car's ghosting. Just want to say because I didn't see his name pop up at the bottom suggesting he rejoined. So he disconnected just before the start. His car's ghosting, but I didn't see his name come up, so he definitely didn't join back. Didn't take delivery of it. Well, didn't take control of that car again. So we're down to 9 drivers to start this race with. Of course, there is a sprint race. Let's see if he can make it back for that later and still salvage some points. Right, just waiting for everybody to come back up to the places. course, Force will just want to slow down a little bit so you don't need to wait that long. Last cars are coming through that turn now. Waiting for everybody to line up. Right, flash over lights. Right, and we are racing. Was a good start, but Legend with even better start. We'll look at that. Even here comes RZD Viva Dumps boys actually with brilliant start. But it looks like everybody's ghosting all of a sudden. Of course, don't look at that aggressive positions at first. As you can see, it already says lap 2, but we just started, so just waiting for that to update. Looks like John is in second, RZDV in first, so Legend had a fantastic start, as brilliant as he could have asked for. Force got the pole position at the last possible moment, so Legend would have wanted to get some sort of a revenge, on the start, and he did just that. He actually had a fantastic, awesome start, and he managed to jump fourth. But as that happened, also his teammate RZDV with a good start, but John also with a brilliant start. So Legend, John and RZDV managed to get past fourth right there at the start. John actually with also a brilliant start, he managed to get in front of RZDV. So Legend making up one position and John making up 2 positions. RZDV pretty much staying in the position he started, with Force dropping down 3 positions. And as you can see, Legend's actually already building some sort of a gap, as his teammate is there putting John under pressure. Gonna go have a look on the outside. No, not this time. Force just staying in sync there. So it's Force a second, but that's not correct, as you can see. Not Maverick, but looks of it, he's in 5th. With not Sebastian behind him battling, not Kimi. Staffy also in the mix there, not far off. He's got not Fernando to contend with, so guys still not that far apart. Staffy of course on the harder tyre, he's going to play the longer strategy here. Of course, if these guys are going to be very racy and they wear those tyres, they might also have to stop back. Well, not might, they will have to stop quicker, stop earlier than what they would have anticipated. The harder you race, the harder you wear your tyres, and of course the quicker you have to stop. And his staff is just going to, chill, not go take too much out of his tyres. With him pitting, then he can actually pump in a few laps. While he's got that extra rubber, and maybe make up positions there. So for Staff now, it's not about to worry about making positions now as much as to stay with the guys. And when they do pit, then make his move. So play the long game here. Still a long way to go. We've only done 2 laps now. Meantime in front, RZDV has gotten past John. And as you can see, he's right with his teammate now. So the 2 Dams boys are going to take the fight to each other. John already dropping off a little bit from him. RZDV with a better line. Better momentum coming out of the corner. Now just getting a bit of DRS, getting a bit of toe. Going to go onto the inside. Teammates going a little bit wide, and that means RZDV is through. RZDV in the lead, Legend now dropping down to second. Of course now he will be the one having the toe, and he will have DRS when the DRS zone comes. Top 4 guys, well actually 5, not Maverick caught up with him. So you basically have the first 5 right there with each other, and then the bottom 4 close with each other. But as you can see, not much of a gap. They're not that far off from the first 5. Still anybody's race, still early stages. Fingers can Legend hang on to his teammate. But Legend had a bit of a gap while RZDV was fighting John. John of course had to defend, keeping RZDV at bay. Because while doing so, he would have lost momentum, he wouldn't have at that pace. Here we go, Legend with the DRS. No, not going to happen, not this time. Because while you're fighting somebody, you tend to lose pace. So the guy in front can move away from you. And that's exactly what Legend did while that battle happened. But of course, as soon as RZDV got past John, he moved after He chased after Legend, and this is why we see what we see now. We have Jean, of course, being third. He's fighting Force now. As much as he's defending to Force, he's not really dropping off that much. RGDV got past Legend, but getting a little bit of gap, but nothing major. I see Zefi Scopy did join again, but the big thing is, would he be able to reclaim that car? I don't think so, because of it when he could disconnect it. We'll just keep an eye on that. There we go. As you can see, 6th place also caught up with 5th now. Only a gap there at the bottom. Yeah, no, Zef, there we go. Scope was left because he realized he wouldn't be able to reclaim his car. So he did manage to rejoin. He did get back in, but he couldn't get control of his car back, so that means that's his race. So 10th place doesn't count, so it's 9 drivers. Not Kimi on the move fastest lap. Yeah, not Sebastian still fighting here. Good drive here, but yeah, not Sebastian over tighter line. Kimi will have a DRS, giving a bit of tow. Not Sebastian just keeping to the inside. So not Maverick and not Fernando. Sorry, not Maverick, not Sebastian. Always not Knots. And just not Kimi here behind him, just waiting for the right moment. Because if these two trip over each other, that's 2 places for him to gain. Ooh, and Kimi had to act fast there. He had better momentum, his teammate earlier on the brakes, and he had to avoid action there. He had to take action to avoid, because he would have lost the front wing there. All good for now. Safi just battling a little bit to hold on. Of course, this is due to the harder tyres. We got a yellow flag, and it looks like it's Force here. Force made a mistake and he spun, and that's Force dropping down to 9th place from 4th place. Not Sebastian now promoted into 4th. Again, not Maverick. No, not this time round. These two fighting each other, so those two damned boys, as well as Jean, is basically getting away from him. Not Maverick with a better move this time. He's got DRS. He committed to the inside early. There was no way for not Sebastian to come back to the inside this time. And not Maverick made the move. That's 4th place for now. You can see there's Jean right on the back of Legend. RGDV actually getting away from his teammate now. Of course, the question is how long. Not Maverick now is getting away from not Sebastian, but can not Kimi now get closer to not Sebastian? There we go, Jean and Legend having a bit of a battle there. Not Fernando also now lining up Safi. Oh, Safi has to deal with not Fernando with a tighter line, and not Fernando through. Safi dropping out to 8th. Just hope for his sake these harder tyres last, and that when these guys in front finally pit, that he can actually bring it back and come into his own. And Safi just have a little bit of a a little bit discomfort with the harder tyres, not sure. Just having to give that confidence. There's still a long way to go. RGDV now almost 2 seconds ahead of his teammate. Teammate still battling John, and a raging Maverick coming. And not Sebastian that far off either. So can Legend just get his head down and start chasing after his teammate again? Last thing he wants is to get his teammate ahead of him too far. Not Maverick's fastest lap. There you go, second, third and fourth right of each other. First place man also pretty much, not that 6th place is that far off. You can see here from second car, you can from the second place you can actually see all the way there to 6th place, all in one shot. RGDV pretty much in a place where you can control this race now. As the gap comes down, it just opens up again, so he's just really controlling everything now. Just keep his head down, keep it steady. So Jeff doesn't join again. Looks like he might have actually gotten control of his car this time, because that car is not ghosting anymore. There we go. Yeah, it looks like this car is definitely back in control of the driver. Solid image now, no longer ghosting. Perseverance paid off. He disconnected just before the start of the race. He came back when went out again. Came back in, and looks like this time he got the car back. So he could have easily gave up after that first disconnect, but he tried again, didn't work, he went out and he came back in again. Even on that second attempt he could have already gave up, but he didn't. He came back, and here he is. So just to show all those of you guys who ever think of quitting, never quit. It ain't over until it's over. I know you might be in last place, but still that's points. 10th place will still give points, so that's still points here that he's racing for, even if he's that far off from the rest of the guys. But more importantly, he's back, so he can still do that. He can still do that sprint race coming up. Sprint race, of course, is reverse order for the top 8 as it is. But at the end of the day, it's still solid points. It's 2 races, so it means double points. So points for one race, points for the other race. Oh, and we got another yellow flag. Oh, and it's one over Campos, and it was not Maverick. Exactly where he lost it in qualifying, same place. Lost it again, he's down to 8th place. That promotes Not Sebastian to 4th. Can he now chase after John? John just dropping off a little bit from Legend. Legend lost time to his teammate. Zed also just spun now. Okay, that's just confirmation that that's definitely human in control of a car, no longer AI. Now RGDV now more than 2 seconds. Legend will have to dig deep if he want to get back into first place. Staffy, of course, in 7th, made up place there with Not Maverick spinning. And another yellow flag. As I said, Staffy made up places, he's going down again, Not Maverick coming back at him. But not yet. Staffy actually back in front again. That could have been the yellow flag. Force coming down on Not Maverick now. Of course, another winner out of us is Not Fernando, now up to 6th place. Welkom terug. Since when is Ronald the supporter of Staffy? Yikes. But I guess Gaff Pig will never say that words. Not Sebastian getting closer to Jean. This is Jean falling further back to Legend. Legend of course also still falling back to his teammate. Another 28 laps to go after this. How long is this tyre going to go before we see the first round of pit stops? Will we only see one round of pit stops? Will there be a second? I have to wait to see. We go, not Sebastian, now right there with Jean. Looking at what he did in qualifying. Rock up after no practice, boop, one solid good lap on those mediums, and the very next lap he improves another position. So can he actually do it? I do believe he's got the ability to, and when he do get past Jean, I think Legend will be soon under pressure, because not Sebastian is showing some serious pace tonight. Just a reminder that after this race, of course, there will be just a brief pause, just as the game, just finishes the race formalities. Then, of course, it will automatically reset it to the reverse grid order, and we will be going into that sprint race. Jean went a little bit wide, put a wheel on the grass there, but he's on his way back into the pits, and that releases Not Sebastian. Not Sebastian will be grateful for that. Now he can chase after those dams, boys. Can he do what the Campos boys tried a little bit earlier? Not Fernando now running in 5th, Staffy up to 6th. Not Maverick also pitted, so that promotes Forcing to 7th. Oh, and yeah, here comes a very bitter rivalry. Force and Staff. Who's going to keep the cool head here? Who's going to stay focused and wait for the right moment? Jean and Not Maverick coming out with mediums. Just give you an idea how long those tires are expected to last. So I think Staffy's got a good one here having the mediums. Just need to work a little bit harder on those at that pace. Legend coming in. So I think we pretty much hit the pits window here. Not Sebastian gets promoted to 2nd. 4 seconds down. Can he get into that? Can he eat into that gap? Chase down RJDV. Not Fernando currently running in one of his highest positions that he's been in for a while. 3rd place. Sebastian not really gaining an RCDV. Question is who took the most out of the tires, who made the tires last, who can go a little bit longer. Staffy still there, Theo Force who's still breathing down his neck there. Legend on the mediums resumed in 6th with Jean behind him. Not Kimi also pitted, but it looks like he still came out in front of his teammate. Some gap between him and his teammates, so Not Kimi in 8th, Not Maverick in 9th. Not Sebastian, 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Not Sebastian finally decided to pit, and he actually came in a little too hot, and he pays the price with a 5-second penalty. RCDV also pitted, so it's very much not Sebastian just countering RCDV there, so both of them coming into the pit. Staffy now into 2nd, Not Fernando in 1st. He's probably going to stop shortly. So here's Staffy's moment, as Force is also in the pit, so he's got some clear air in front and at the back. Scopey's still there, hanging there. Still on the soft tires that AI car started with, so he might also make a pit stop soon. Going out for now. Just confirmation of that 5-second penalty for not Sebastian. If he stops again, it will pretty much be served. If not, that will be added to his time at the end. Not Sebastian, not Fernando coming through. No, still no pit stop. He's going to do another lap. Staffy chasing after him. RGDV on the fresh and mediums, but Staffy can do another few laps here. This is where you now really need to put the hammer down and make the best out of it. Of course, he will be on the soft tyres next time out. Everyone else then will be on the mediums, him on the soft, so you should be able to have that. Legends go fastest now. Of course, cars are getting lighter as the fuel gets burned up. So Staffy might have a bit of advantage being on the softer tyre, which is the faster tyre. Not Maverick, the 193 goes faster now. Thing is, who can use these mediums and, you know, be fast but don't take too much out of him. Don't think you want to stop another, you know, do another pit stop if you need, unless you really need to. But can these mediums last that long? Can it really take him to the end of the race? Because let's just see how long Staffy still lasts on those. Staffy gaining on not Fernando. Gap is now under 4.5. Really not Fernando will keep an eye on that, and yes he does. He's actually going to make a move and dive into the pits. But Staffy actually now in one of the better positions he's been in for a while. Staffy leading this race. Staffy leading the race, so this is now where he really can make this come to him. Not Fernando. Still showing soft tyres, so I don't think they changed it yet. Yeah, he's definitely going on mediums. Kimi now going fastest, so 119.3. Staffy still 9 seconds ahead of RGDV. 118.8 now, new fastest lap done by Not Maverick. Going at a rate of knots, catching a few guys. Just for a moment where Not Fernando had a bit of a slow pit stop. Bit of an issue, but he manages to get going again. He's down to 9th place now. So forces leapfrog him with his stop. RGDV now starting to gain there on Staff, but he's got his teammate right back on him. Legend did close the gap to RGDV. Thing is now, can he keep up with RGDV? Can he force his teammate to make some sort of mistake? Not Sebastian in 4th currently. He's still there, he can still chase these Dams boys down. Gap still going, coming down, RGDV catching Staff, but Staff still holding on. Can Staff do solid lap times and use this now as the time to jump a few places. Have to see these last few laps before he pits and where does he come out after that pit stop. Of course, Ronald will be watching this. He will be studying his opponents. Look at their weak and strong points where he can. RGDV still gaining. Legend still there with his teammate, but gap a little bit bigger now. Jan not too far off from Not Sebastian. Bit of a gap between Not Maverick and Not Kimi. Legend will just need to gain some time somewhere, find a place where he can be consistent, just to make sure that his teammate doesn't run away from him again. You want to be close and should that mistake come where he can pounce. First lap and the next lap to be completed when we would have completed 50% race distance. So halfway pretty much. Yellow flag, not Fernando's out, no! Guys, just bear with me. Oh, that triggers a safety car as well, so guys, just bear with me. Let's see if we can get him in here. Ooh, drive-through penalty for Scope, speeding under safety car. Well, some of the guys dive into the pits again. This is now really not what Staffy would have wanted. You would see that gap now shrinking big time. If it was a VSC, it would have been fine. Everybody just had to maintain their pace. Of course, this is a full safety car, not a VSC. So these guys will basically pretty much be bundled up shortly. I see not Kimi made a move, he's going to change tyres. He's going to go for 4 fresh mediums. That means when he should be fine till the end. Halfway distance. Would be nice to see not Fernando in here and then just jump out again before the start of the next race. So you can see there's Staffy's gap pretty much gone. RGDV's with him. RGDV will have a fresher rubber on the restart. So any momentum Staffy might have gained or where everything would have come back to him is now out the door thanks to the safety car, as the whole field pretty much now backed up. This also gives Scope the opportunity to close in. Still some way off, but at least he can go faster trying to catch up the guys in front. Asia, now bad luck for Staffy indeed. The mediums finally came to him. We could use it and now, maintain a gap and, gain a few places. But yeah, every momentum is gone out the door. But the thing is, how long can he take these mediums and then at the end be on the softs when these guys are on much older tyres? Okay, there we go. Not Kimi, just pulling up now to the rest of the guys in front. Only Scopey a little way off. But he did gain some time, so he got closer to the guys. Because fell that far behind thanks to that disconnect early and he couldn't gain control of his car at first. Well, in theory, safety car should be in. Now it looks like safety car is going to do another lap. Staffy just needs to get the pace up going. He's falling a little bit too far back from the safety car. Unless he's doing it on purpose just to get some speed in. So you can brake harder, more speed, brake a little bit harder into the corner just to warm up those brakes. Last thing you want now is to lose temperature. Scopey getting closer, he's now approaching that home straight. Gap is coming down, he's getting closer to not Kimi. Thing is, he's just got a few more corners because in theory the safety car should be in this lap. That Fernando is not willing to take up a microphone, even just for a short stint. "18 laps to go still after this lap." Steffi is eager to become the safety car, which you will be in a very short while. Safety car lights is going to go out. There we go, safety car lights out, safety car's coming in. So Steph will just back him up a little bit, and Scope did manage to catch up at the back of his pack, so everybody is backed up again. Now the moment is Steph now going to let go. Yep, he's at full ratio, he's fine, he's on his way. Now you need to watch out for RZDV, where also timed it perfectly. No, so did not Sebastian there. Oh, Jean on the inside. Oh, somebody lost some piece of a car. I think it might be Jean. Lost a bit of his wing. Jean came in a little bit too hot on the inside. It looked good, but there might have been some contact. And Jean is dropping down. Here comes RGB, he's going to have a look on the inside to Staff on a much pressure rubber. He's got the momentum. Now not for Sebastian's actually making a move as well. That was a very late move, but Staffy left the door wide open there. Now Staffy also under pressure from Legend. Legend's going to have a go on the inside. These mediums are not holding on for Staff. He's going to have to put, oh, and he puts a wheel off track. He puts a wheel off track, pushing a little bit too hard. Spun a bit, nothing serious luckily. Didn't see any body parts flying, so surely Staff needs to come in. He can't hold on to this size any longer because everybody pretty much passed him, even Zef. So Staffy surely is on his way back to the pits. Not Sebastian challenging here, and he is into the lead. Still carrying that 5-second penalty, just bear that in mind. Not Sebastian in the lead, followed by RGDV, Legend in third. Not Maverick up to fourth. Also made up some good points, fourth also back into fifth. Not Scobie 6, left side now into 7th place. Staffy and John in the pit, so Staffy doing a wing replacement. Surely John as well. So Staffy not just for tyres, but he had wing damage as well that caused him there. Staffy on his way, he will be on the soft tyres, so he's done now two different compounds. Can he use his softs and, you know, make up some sort of time here? Of course, still another 16 laps to go after this. Anything can happen, and it usually does. RGDV not going to let Not Sebastian go, but well, RGDV is fighting with Not Sebastian. That keeps Legend in contention. But he also needs to be wary of Not Maverick right behind him. Legend now getting a tow there of his teammate, getting much better drive. He's got the momentum. But while these two quarrel, they're actually opening the door on the outside for Not Maverick. Now RGDV needs to choose because he's going to have his teammate on the inside. He's got Maverick on the outside, but all done in the end. Not Maverick couldn't get past him, neither Legend. Now RGDV watching these two, that's allowing Not Sebastian to get away in front. Legend having a look on the inside of his teammate. RGDV runs a little bit wide, surely that will give Legend the momentum. But now he puts a wheel on the grass, RGDV's got the momentum. Not Maverick still sniffing here. Meantime, Force is also here, right in. Here comes Not Kimi as well. Now you pretty much could have a 5-car battle here for second place. Oh, Jean, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Legend diving to the inside, using the RS. Is he going to go make a move? RDV not for giving up a fight, but Legend to have it a different line. But now RDV just squeezed him a little bit to the inside of that. He's not Maverick to go here. He had the momentum as Legend were fighting. Legend had a difficult line where to go. Oh, and Force bumps into not Maverick. Force were coming in too hard. He was fighting Legend there. Swerved out at the last moment to the inside, and then he actually ran into the back of not Maverick, sending not Maverick spinning. Staffy now fastest lap, no surprise with those soft tyres, but that means he is faster, so he should be able to make up some time here. Gets up there with Jean and then starts picking him up one by one each time. Can he keep up this pace? Legend already still fighting mid-time and front, not Sebastian is gone. Because he's got a 5-second penalty that he wants to get rid of if he doesn't stop again. The Dams boys should be careful to fight each other too hard and trip each other. Force is going to go on the outside here of Not Kimi. Oh, and Force now, moment there, switch, and then good driving there from Not Kimi, avoiding him. He didn't flinch, he just kept his line, and luckily it worked out, so Not Kimi back into fourth. I'm sure that incident that we saw just on the previous lap there, Force and Not Maverick, there might be some investigation. I think the steward will have a bit of action after the first race. Legend now really racing with his teammate. He was there in the beginning, but he's doing more racing now compared to the first time. Gap still there around the 3-second mark there with Not Sebastian. Meantime, Not Kimi with his Campos is going a bit faster. Purple sector as you saw. How long can these damn boys keeping it up? Also some clean air now to him and Not Maverick up to 6 again. Question is, can Not Maverick make up? He had some good momentum, some good pace. Happy with another fastest lap. He's still got these damn boys fighting each other. Gap just open up a little bit there. Not Sebastian pulling another attempt. But still these two Dams boys are not giving up. Even staying in contention with him. He's having his mirrors full of force. Of course, if these two Dams guys trip over each other, as I said earlier, there's points for these guys here at the back. Of course, everybody gets points, it's just going to be better points. Can Staffy get past Jean and then chase after as if that's 2 places up for grabs. Well spotted there. of spotters there, Ronnie, but just keep in mind it's normally only the first 8. It's only the first 8 positions that do reverse order. Staffy definitely gaining beyond John. Here we go. RDB and Legend. Legend is the one in front now this time. Can Legend keep his line now and focus on catching not Sebastian? Staffy another fastest lap. Staffy really flying now. I can bet you if he's going to have to make another stop, it will be softs again. Might not be a bad idea if they need to, because I think these guys will be on these worn mediums all the way to the end. 11 laps to go, car is light, it's possible. Legend looks like he's getting away from RZDB. Question is, can he catch not Sebastian? Or at least stay within 5 seconds from him, so should not Sebastian, but again that 5 seconds that come in at the end will actually promote Legend to first place. So as Marcus mentioned there, good battle here at first. There's actually been a good couple of battles earlier where we actually had all the guys in front close to each other. Of course, safety car just closed them up again, but a bit of contact here, a bit of issues here on the restart. Saw some gaps here at the back opening up again. Legend definitely gaining beyond not Sebastian. Gap is now under 3 seconds. But funny enough, he's actually dragging his teammate with. So these two are not fighting each other, they're actually gaining on the front man. So the one pushing the other one, as much as the one pushing the other one in front, actually pulling the other through as well. So both of them, they basically are hunting in a pack here after that frame over in front. So if it's going like it's going now, not Sebastian's going to feel it very soon. Pretty much the same amount of laps. Last time round, Legend was the guy who stopped first out of the 3. So he's done 1 lap more on the set of tyres. Is it enough to put him down? But yet Legend still opened a further gap to his teammate. You can see Legend still now getting closer. Gap is now less than 2.5 seconds. Surely not Sebastian will be noticing this. Just got a bit of momentum here, just much faster through that sequence of corners, which is always tricky. As you saw, a couple of guys already losing it there. RZDB right back onto his teammate. Timmy meantime did get in front of Force. Well, sorry, Timmy is still in front of Force. Force dropped off. Force was there with Timmy, but he's now 3 seconds behind. Not Maverick still trying to get back within, not that far off. You can still gain. Staffy now right there with Jean. Of course, Jean is carrying a 3-second penalty, so if things are finishing as is now, Staffy will be promoted to 8th place. Oh, and Zefi disconnected again. Not his night, internet really acting up with him, so that means that ghost car will go slower, so surely Jean and Staffy should gain. So that will take Ben Staffy to 8th, which will put him on pole for the 2nd race. So Ronald's prediction here is coming through. You see these two are gaining on that 7th car, which now disconnected, 7th place car. RDB with his teammate now, as these two are fighting again. Not Sebastian is getting away again in front. These two maybe just need to be aware of that the guy, they still the same team. What they do counts for the entire team. Maybe stop fighting each other or fight each other less and focus on catching the guy in front. Because every time they fight, not Sebastian gets away. But the moment there's a bit of daylight between these two and they go flat out, the guy in front actually loses time to him. Nee, Ronnie, jy is 100% reg. You do lose a lot of time when you do battle here, so these guys maybe just stop battling as a team and just go after the first place guy. Because technically these guys can both make it one in the first and second. But not going to happen while they keep battling, because not Sebastian's just going to get further away. Surely Kiwi will find his moment. RGDV with a much better momentum, taking the inside line. Having DRS as well. Surely he's going to launch it onto the inside. Yeah, he's through. Ooh, Kimi very close there. Just got on the brakes and applied the right amount of brake pressure. He's going to go look on the inside. Taking a little bit rough. So can RGDV at least now chase after not Sebastian and pull his teammate through, because well, as it is currently that 5 seconds, both of them will be into first and second. But if they're going to keep this up fighting each other, they will soon be outside 5 seconds, and not Sebastian will be safe over, will be have enough buffer to get the win even with a penalty. Not Maverick, not gaining as quickly on force. That brings the gap down a little bit, but not much. But John now into 7, Staffy into 8, that's both past that ghost car. Staffy right back in the back of John. Of course, as it is now, Staffy will get 7 because John's got that 3-second penalty. Going uphill, Staffy looks like he's got a little bit more momentum. DRS will now be wide open. Getting a bit of tow here. Driving to the inside. Surely Staffy will have this. Jean not backing off. He's going to fight him on the outside. He's going to have a better line out here. And Staffy is through. Staffy into 7. Of course, you don't need to race him too hard though. That 3 seconds, the penalty is still there. So even if John comes back at him, Staffy just leaving the door open, John having a look on the inside, but just a little too far back, so there's not enough momentum to see him through there. RGDV just pulling away from his teammate there in front. Looks like he is closing the gap somewhat to Dot Sebastian now. But as much as teammate is behind him, he's still actually pulling his teammate through with him. Looking at the current time, as it is now, you will have RGDV, Legend and Kimi on the podium once that penalty comes in at the end. Final lap to go after that. Oh, Kimi's going to have a look on the inside. Much better momentum from Kimi. Kimi through, Kimi into 3rd, Legend down to 4th. Can Legend come back at him? Kimi also is on the fresher rubber, it must be said. He stopped under the safety car. He was on the mediums with these guys, but he decided to stop for a fresh set of mediums under that safety car. And this is now actually putting him in a better place, because he's on the fresher rubber. 5 laps younger tyres, and he's going to put RGDV under pressure now. And then can he chase after not Sebastian? As it is now, still you can have RGDV, Kimi and Legend on the podium, with not Sebastian dropping down to 4th for that penalty. Not Kimi's going to go down the inside. Not Kimi fastest lap as well, so he's got some momentum. There is wide open. Go look on the inside, bit of a lock up. Maybe that just caught RGDV a little bit off guard. But that lock up did help. He got momentum. He's through on the inside. Can RGDV now try to come back at him? They did lose some time now to not Sebastian due to this fight. But Kimi now will get back on it, so surely they will chase after not Sebastian now. Real battle here in front now. 3 guys quarreling here for 2nd place. Just don't want to fight with each other too much and get that front guy away too far. Already we're going to go look on the outside. Not Kimi has the momentum to go back here in front. Then I must be careful here because now not Sebastian is getting away 4.5 seconds. He actually on the verge of cancelling out that penalty. RTDV is going to go guys to the outside. Legend also with good momentum. RTDV through. Not Kimi, he's not saying it's not over. He's going to fight him all the way. Kimi back into second. Legend now with good momentum. He's also got DRS. Can he make a move on his teammate? Not Kimi going to go on the inside. Legend with much better on the break. He's late on the break, but he's going to go wide here. Looks like there was a bit of contact there. Bit of a clip that sent him wide. Not Kimi back into second. RTDV for a moment still behind him. But as these guys are fighting each other, not Maverick, not Sebastian is safe. Not Sebastian with a 6-second lead, which will cancel out that 5 seconds. So not Sebastian pretty much will have first place. 3 laps to go after this. Said it earlier, these guys need to be careful to fight each other too much because as they're fighting, the time in front, that gap's going to go open. Not Kimi starting to reel in a little bit. Can they all now start going after not Sebastian reeling in a bit? RTDV has dropped off from his teammates. A bit of clear air here between these 3 cars now. Can they make up enough time to the race leader? Or can he actually manage his gap in front to cancel out this penalty? Another 2 laps to go after this. The end is in sight. Of course, meantime, elsewhere track, Staffy is still ahead of Jean. Jean still putting him under pressure. Jean, of course, on the slow tyre, but also the fresher tyre. Coke still not back, so that car still ghosting. Can Kimi make up his 4, 5, 10? That's all he needs. You don't need to chase down not Sebastian for first place. That penalty is still there, of course. Can he use his tyres? Force now with fastest lap. Force is now right there with RJDV. Also one of those bitter rivalries. Of course, Staffy then will be on pole for that, for the next portion of this, that sprint race. Now Sebastian is about to start his final lap. Coming around for second or third last corner, depending how much you count those last 2 as corners. Ideal DRS zone. Slight turn to the left, start finish line, and then we start seeing the last lap of this race. 18 still, that's enough. Where he is now is enough to make this race easy. Guys at the back just too far off to let that penalty come into play. Legend just needs to be careful of this ghosting car. He's got his teammate right behind him, but luckily he's got DRS which can counter his teammate. Of course, you can drive through a ghost car. It's not that you have to pass it. RTDV with a good drive. Legend just spinning on the inside, but now RTDV will have the inside. Force here as well. Right, last couple of corners here for Not Sebastian, a guy that rocked up after no practice. Go fifth on the set of mediums just to go up another place and then work his way back in the race. Of course, it didn't look like any win or in any way near it, but well done, Mr. Not Sebastian. Winning the feature race, 5-second penalty, but like I said, there's enough of a gap there. Kimi's going to come back and bring it home in second. So as you can see, there is a penalty, but it's enough for Not Sebastian. So confirmation, Not Sebastian, not Kimi, Legend and RZDV for 5th, not Maverick in 6th. So we got John, of course, in front of Staffy, but he's got a 3-second penalty. Staffy is actually more than 3 seconds off, so John probably will keep at 7th. Here we go, Jean now to cross the start finish line. And of course another thing about F2 cars is, of course, except if you're ghosting, you don't get lapped in 100% race that easily, which you normally see with F1. So Jean managed to bring it back in 7th, with Staffy taking 8th place. With driver of the day there showing not Kimi. That's also another thing that we're not taking into account this season, so of course no driver of the day bonus points. Of course, podium there, yes, just for the featured race. Not Sebastian there, like a typical Vettel. You can be glad there's no DHL sign there on the podium, otherwise he might have just tripped on that podium stand. Nonetheless, well done. No one saw that one coming, good win. Of course, then the Campos there with a Dams. So at the end there, Not Sebastian and Kimi spoiling the Dams boys' fun. It actually looked like a Dams 1-2 for a very long time. Because in the end, Force got home with the fastest lap. And he had pole position, so he still also needs to submit his lap for validation. So just confirmation, your race winner there, Not Sebastian. Then we have Not Kimi, Legend taking 3rd. RZDV 4th with Foss 5th, Not Maverick come home in 6th, John in 7th, Staffy in 8th, of course Scopy shows as 9th, but most of the time there was a disconnect there as well. He did try more than once, reclaimed his vehicle, just got kicked again. Not Fernando, unfortunately, with a DNF there that triggered that safety car, of course, earlier. Right, there will just be a brief moment, as you can see. So we're pretty much back here. 9 drivers, so of course, as Scopy disconnect, he will not be part of it. So this is the sprint race, and as foresaid, some rain. Luckily, no rain in the featured race. It stayed nice and sunny. But the sprint race is overcast, so there's a good chance here of some rain. Of course, just giving them a chance to just change. Of course, finalize strategy, so just give a moment. Three seconds to go. Of course, as you can see, there's Staffy and John in front. We're going to get our details back on here. Everybody pretty much on the mediums. Of course, 40 lap race was the main race, now down to 28 laps. Full day race distance for the sprint. Of course, same points count as in the main race. Okay, see that Zef is showing, but of course that is still a ghost. There we go. So everybody on mediums this time. Staffy, of course, finishing 8th, so he's lining up in pole this time. No bonus points for pole in this race, because being a sprint race is just a reverse order. Of course, for pole position was for the featured race where the bonus point comes in. So Staffy, Jean and Not Maverick were 4th and 4th. Then the 2 Dams boys already the Legend with Kimi and Not Sebastian. And Not Fernando in 10th behind that ghost car. Not Fernando would just want to salvage some points here after the DNF in the sprint in the featured race. Right, here we go, coming up this little uphill section when everybody will pretty much line up, and then we can have a sprint race underway. Who's going to have a better start this time round, and are we going to see rain? And if we do see rain, how long into the race will this happen? Is it going to be quick enough to make some sort of a difference, or spice things up a bit? Yeah, Ronnie, you said it, but I don't know if he actually did it on purpose. But if he did, it's not wise, because there's nothing to gain from that. Right, last car's lining up at the back. Here we go, another start here for a sprint race now, about to go underway. Watch for the light. Do we have some sort of lag here, some sort of issue? No, here we go, finally. And it's a go! Go, go, go! Staffy's getting a good solid start. John as well, but not Maverick, also a good start. John moving over to just counter Maverick there. Not Sebastian, not Sebastian. Wow, but of course those times are not right as always, but still not Sebastian with a good start. Just waiting for everybody in front to just, you know, line up, get the stuff sorted out. Staffy definitely the leader for the moment. Maverick now up to second. Staffy's going to feel the heat here from Maverick. Forcing third now, going on the outside to Jean. RZGV already up to fifth. Kimi in 6th with Legend in 7th. Not Sebastian, actually not as good start as I initially thought. He's actually still in 8th place. The Prema boys at the moment currently at the back. Of course, that safe side car, that's still a ghost car. Or is it? Car looks pretty solid. There's not a ghosting image there. Of course, TRS now enabled. Not Fernando trying to get past Scopy here. Much better momentum there. Scopy just very cautious with that sequence of corners. Staffy, not Maverick. Bit of a gap here between Maverick and Force. RJGV up to 4th. He's got his teammates behind him. RJGV challenging Force on the inside now. Not Sebastian also started making positions. He's up to 6 now. Force and RJGV fighting. None of them letting off here. Of course with a better line, but there we go. Not Sebastian, Legend and RJGV all here. RJGV almost a bit of a wing damage here, but luckily no contact. You see not Kimi in the mix as well. Not Fernando did get past Zef side. Kaleidoscope, whatever you want to call it, Zef side scope, kaleidoscope, Zephyr scope, at least we can see it's the same driver. RJGV with a good line on the outside, good momentum. Not Maverick goes fastest now. RJGV going on the outside. Force taking the inside. But a wheel rubbing there, Force is still through. Not Sebastian, very challenging these Dams boys. No, that car definitely looks like he's got control of his car. It's definitely not showing ghosting anymore. Staffy, not Maverick, still not Maverick, as close as can be. It's a real fight here, RJGV and Force, not Sebastian now, past Legend into 5th. Staffy holds not Maverick at bay. Not Maverick having already much better momentum. Gonna go to the inside. Still not Maverick will make it here. He will have DRS as well. Yeah, there we go. Not Maverick safely through and the fastest lap for good measure. So not Maverick into first. Staffy now down to second, but a bit of a gap to third place man. RGDV who's now ahead of fourth. But can he get away there from fourth to start chasing after Staffy? Of course, fourth place in the main race. He would like to get a podium at least here. Of course, not Sebastian, not Kimi, and his teammate Legend there podium. You want to join in the podium celebrations here as well. As it is now, it's still Campos and Dams on the podium, just the other two teammates who were not on the podium in the main race. Not Sebastian, they're still fighting fourth and fourth. Kimi still staying in touch there, but Kimi still got John also still in, pretty much in seat here. Fernando also not far off. Static staying with not Maverick. First place, not a very easy place to be with F2 cars. It's almost like a car behind. Got the better momentum, yeah, of course there's DRS, but they can mimic every move you make and then you counter that. Guy in front also need to, basically the one always looking over his shoulder. Already did now with fastest lap, being clear air, he's now actually getting a move on. Oh, and fourth runs off track. Huge corner cut and he gets a time penalty for that. As he cut corner and he maintains position. The time penalty there for fourth. RTDB now with good clear air to him and fourth, so he can now just focus on just chasing after second place man. Not Sebastian now going to put fourth under pressure. Staffy's doing a good job here keeping up with Maverick in front. How long can he also keep away from RGDV? The last thing he wants is to have his mirrors full. As of course Ronald mentioned earlier on the chat. Battle tend to lose your time. And oh, not Sebastian with some good momentum thanks to DRS. Sneaking out here on the outside to Force. Force is going to try to cut him off here. Force runs off track again a bit. Surely not Sebastian will have a much better momentum. And he will have DRS for good measure, so surely that's fourth place to not Sebastian. As not Kimi fights Legend. Legend trying to get back into sixth place as Kimi just get past him. John also trying to have a look here at Legend. Staffy just dropping off a little bit to not Maverick, but also falling into the clutches of RGDV who's gaining. Now not Sebastian, he's going to go after these guys. Surely you want to get back on podium. Oh, and we got a yellow flag. Legend went spinning. I think there might be front wing damage as well. Might be just end plate missing. If so, just want to have another look. Looks like the left end plate is gone. Yeah, there we go. Some wing damage there. Now it looks like that scope is ghosting again. Didn't see him rejoin, didn't see his name pop up at the bottom. And if you look at it now, the car is still showing ghosting again. It's actually not as solid as it seemed a little bit earlier, so that car is in fact still ghosting. So there's no point there for 9th place. So it means Legend technically is in 9th. Oh, not Fernando with a double retirement. And that triggers a VSC. In the main race, of course, it triggered a full safety car. Now it's a VSC. So no point here tonight for not Fernando. His teammate, of course, would like to make it as a double of his own. Of course, Instead of a double retirement like his teammate, he wanted to go for a double win. RJDV, can he gain on Staffy? Staffy still hanging there with not Maverick. 21 laps to go after this. Also not Kimi, hunting not Sebastian like a hungry pack of wolves. John still staying in contention as well. Not over. Not over by a long shot. Not sure what Staffy's doing here. Staffy not managing a gap, and it's actually that VC helped not Maverick getting away from Staffy. And also the RJDV gained. Not so bad, he's still having his mirrors full of these two hungry wolves. Ooh, another yellow flag. Legend just came out of a pit. He just came out of a pit under that BC. And looks like he's going to make another turn to the pits. That first sequence of corners or so. Actually not, it's in that middle section. Got caught out there. Surely that's enough, but as you could see from there, there was contact with barriers, so surely that was enough for further wing damage. Indeed, at this time it's the right end plate and actually more than just the end plate, so he's on his way back to the pits. RJDV fastest lap. Not Sebastian taking to the inside, he's got Force coming up to him. Not Kimi as well, not far off. RJDV right now with Staffy. Not Maverick having some clear EV in front. Then you have this battle here for fourth. Now not Sebastian is experiencing what the other guys had in the main race. Have a bit of a fight which is actually causing him time to the guys in front, dropping all the way from RJDV. Where of course in the main race he was the one getting away where everybody was fighting behind him. Can he just forget about the guys behind him and just, you know, full focus on going after the guys in front? RJDV another fastest lap. Definitely good momentum at the moment. There we go, RJDV gathering with momentum, going to go to the inside. RJDV into second. Can Staffy come back at him, put him under pressure here, don't let him get away. RJDV still pulling back further to not Maverick. Not Sebastian, just gain a little bit on Staffy. Kimi actually fell off Kimi fourth here. That actually allowed Jean to caught up with him. Jean caught up with him definitely, as you can see there, and looking at the timing screen. Staff staying in touch here with RGTV, Forstall in touch with Not Sebastian. Who can do what now? Can Steffi just stay with him here? Definitely using DRS here to get closer, just not close enough when the DRS is activated to try to make some sort of a move. Still hunting, Not Sebastian. Staffy pretty much holding his own here and staying in touch with RJDV, not letting RJDV get it away from him. Staffy fastest lap, showing you how much he is keeping with RJDV. Another 15 laps to go after this. Legend now with the fastest lap. Not Sebastian still feeling force there. Not Kimi, not able to hold on to him, and he's got his mirrors full of Jean. Ooh, yellow flag, one of the Campos guys, and that's Kimi. Coming over barrier, so surely there was some front wing damage. Yep, left end plate's gone. Will he stay out? Will he make his way to the pit? Now look at this car, now it actually looks solid again. Of course, Force is still carrying that time penalty of earlier. Not Kimi coming into the pits now. Pretty much halfway distance here in this sprint race. In the real battle at the moment, still Force and Not Sebastian. and still the only closed gap. Pretty much gaps opened up everywhere else. Of course, still looking for a way past Not Sebastian. Not Sebastian actually gaining on Staffy. Not Maverick with fastest lap. You can see one Campos is actually coming from behind on the other Campos if you look at that mini-map. "15 laps done already on reset of tyres. Resets of tyres, of course, with the front guys. Legend already 13 after that early pit stop. Not Maverick with another purple sector. Not Sebastian getting closer to Staffy still. 12 laps to go. RZDV now fastest lap. Just showing Maverick he's still there. Don't forget about me, I'm still in touch with you. Maverick so far, pretty much flawless race. Would not want to repeat of that featured race, especially that first corner sequence. Brief yellow flag there in the last sector. Jams all of a sudden here in the sprint race, a bit of a handful there for Legend. Still no way through for Force here. Staffy finding it difficult now to hold on to RZDV as Not Sebastian's coming closer. Not Sebastian, Staffy gap getting closer, well, smaller. Force still behind Not Sebastian. Pretty much our straight gaps are relatively opened up already. RZDV still trying hard to get closer to Maverick. Maverick just managing that gap, able to do so at this stage. 10 laps to go after this. Not Sebastian still getting closer. Not Maverick with another fastest lap. Just opening up a gap a little bit more to RZDV. Can RZDV respond to that? You can see there pretty much Staffy will soon have his mirrors full of these two. For still trying to get past Not Sebastian. Still no way at this time. Not Sebastian just covering up all his lines perfectly. No, we're staying a little bit longer here, but this is where the only real battle is at the moment, as Force is still looking to get past Not Sebastian, and Not Sebastian still gaining on Staff. Staff running a solid race in third this time round. Force now going to go on the outside. Not Sebastian's got him covered. Force looks like he's getting a little bit impatient. Because everything's ongoing for a while. Force don't want to sit here forever. Can he stay patient? Can he make a move? He comes again, but just as he's right in the back, he just runs out of track. Oh, well, finally, Ronnie, finally, but yeah, now it's too late. I mean, if Eskom just got it going, you could still make the sprint race. Because now Force actually dropping off. Bit of a mistake there, Not Sebastian got some clear air to him and Force. So that will actually now make him go after Staffy. Now you don't need to worry about what's happening in his mirrors. Now you can focus on the guy in front. You can see there, right in the distance, Force coming around the corner. Real gap here now, he's only real battle basically now, Staffy and Not Sebastian. How long can Staffy hold him off? All dark full overcast, no signs of any rain yet. It's gonna fall, it's gonna be right at the end. But will it be enough to make a difference? Let them come in to change tyres or that sort of thing. Obviously he's fighting his teammate of last season. Gap still staying at 3 seconds. No, Ronnie, your guess is as good as mine. I thought Bahrain would have been here by now. It's going to be a lie right at the moment, at the end. That's one of those dash for the finish line kind of things. 6 laps to go after this. Right, Not Sebastian still going. Of course, everybody on the same tyres, same age. Legend just 2 laps left, so for Kimu stopped not too long ago. After that he's going to go have a look on the inside. Staffy just left of enough of the door open, but Staffy's got the momentum, better line. Now runs off a bit of track, which actually gives Not Sebastian the better line and momentum, and he's going to have DRS just to basically consolidate and make sure he stays in front, so Not Sebastian into third. Ooh, Jean was speeding in the pit lane, just coming in a little too hot. Also, as it stands at the moment, 2 podiums tonight for Prema. Of course with Prema it's the same driver, double there for not Sebastian, of course double for, 2 podiums here for Dams, and of course the same for Campos as well. So in those two teams, of course, each of the 2 drivers had an opportunity to get onto the podium. Of course, still another 5 laps to go after this before we can confirm that. Just talking about current standings. RDD fastest lap. Self is thinking with not Sebastian for the time being. Can he come back at him? Gap has dropped. Gap is small in front, now 2.5 seconds. RDD gaining a bit, but could also be not Maverick managing his tires a bit. 4 laps to go, surely you want to go to the end. RDD fastest lap. Definitely fighting here, definitely still fighting. That we just getting closer, but not enough track left to have more than enough momentum to make a move into the first corner. But still staying in touch here with not Sebastian. RDD meantime did get a little bit closer to Maverick still. 2 laps to go after this. Right, so we got not Maverick on the penultimate lap. Not Maverick another fastest lap. Staffy still staying in contention with not Sebastian. Gap 2.2 seconds, but not enough. Oh, and the yellow flag here on the last lap. Looks like that is that so-called ghost car. But it's not ghosting. That's why you're not Maverick last few corners. Staffy will want to make a move here. Right with not Sebastian, not Maverick now coming out in this uphill section. Basically took the lead, and once he took the lead, he kept the lead, maintained the gap. Well done, not Maverick, winning the sprint race, RGDV second. Not Sebastian being pushed by Staffy. Staffy sneaking in the last possible moment. Staffy's got the momentum. Staffy crosses first, Staffy's got third place. Staffy got back, if not Sebastian, in the last possible moment to finish in third. No, Staffy snuck that one. Like Scope that managed it, it's definitely him up to 6. If it was the ghost car, definitely wouldn't have been up there. So good comeback, a good solid 6th place. Staffy took that one by the skin of his teeth. Dit was al sê, baie breedte. Here we go, Zeffy coming home. That's why people not Kiwi. Johnny finishing 8th and Legend taking 9th place. Well done, Staff. And DRS did its job for you. Of course, just waiting again for the guys to have a podium victory. There we go. Maverick happy. Just confirmation how they finish the sprint race, of course, as you can see there, not Maverick taking the win. RGDV second. Staffy sneaking that third place right at the last possible moment. Not Sebastian down to fifth. Zesco 6, not Kimi 7th, John 8, Legend went 9th with a DNF for not Fernando. Fastest lap, of course, goes to Force again. Right, I want to say thank you for watching, but just bear with me, just see if we can get those guys in here and get some comments from them. Okay, so we got one of him. Okay, we got two of him. These damn guys are fast at everything. Finally, we got number 4. The number 5. Let's see. Come. Maverick, I think we might not see Staffy here. Staffy's not a big talker. He's doing his talk on track. So, don't think we're going to see Staffy, but yeah, if he comes, definitely. There we go, Staffy's here. There we go. Staffy's here. So, we've got a full party here. Of course, 6 drivers here tonight. Of course, 2 races, and both races at different podium drivers. So, of course, good night here for Prema on the former way of not Sebastian, but also double podiums for both drivers for Campos and Dums. Of course, Legend in the first race, second race, of course, RGTV, of course, Kimi in the first race, and then in the sprint race, not Maverick, our winner. And of course, I'm going to start with our main race winner from no practice, nowhere, keeping a low profile on social chat, you don't see him online, then coming late thanks to Eskom, puts in a blind of a lap on mediums, very next lap goes faster, start the race, get into first place and never look back, and then just to be unlucky to really get snuck at the last possible moment. But what a comeback. Welcome back, Mr. Not Sebastian. No DHL signs in your mirror tonight.
I think that's why there was a win. Because there's nothing to catch into.
But from nowhere, nobody saw that one coming. That win was not called.
Actually, to be honest, if there was no safety car, Rob would have ran away with it. That gap was just big and you couldn't really close it. So if there was no safety car, then it would have been a different story. It's just.
So can we call it team strategy when seeing that it is your teammate that triggered the safety car?
You can call it a crash gate, but yeah, my teammate keeps crashing at the same point, so I don't know. It's got to raise a few eyebrows.
Of course, Mr. Kimi also having a good one there, getting into on the podium there in the main race. Kimi again, not as good in the second one, a bit of bad luck in the sprint race, but solid in the main race and getting it onto the podium.
Yeah, no, the main race was good, and when the safety car came out, I thought I was clever, stopping for tires, not knowing the tires that you use in the main race. You know, there's no more new tires, so I had to. The sprint race, I started on those tires I pitted on the safety car, so yeah. Anyway, that's how you learn.
But it still looked like the tires were newer because the pace that you had on those guys that you overtook to get in onto the podium, that actually looked like new tires.
Yeah, well, they were newer compared to them.
Yeah, newer, yes, but not completely new.
10 laps fresher, so at the end I could push a little bit. So yeah. But it dampers you in the second race, obviously. So.
Yeah, true that. But of course, then Mr. Legend on the podium. I mean, last season he was the midfield battle. Here we go. Oh, actually having that would have been actually our pole sitter as well if it wasn't for Force that stole that pole at the last possible moment. And here also first podium, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, very first podium. Yeah, happy. Yeah.
A guy from midfield last season, all of a sudden running here in the front with the big boys.
Yeah, I was sweating the whole race through. I was soaking wet.
But of course, the sprint race was something completely different. Bit of bad luck there.
Yeah, no, that was just bad luck. We'll have to go back and look what happened there, and then yeah, it is what it is. But I'm happy with the main race and everything went well there. Lekker battles with Rob and Kimi and Una and all of those guys. It was nice.
But of course, bad luck. We talk about bad luck. Maverick, of course, in the main race. A couple of times he fought his way just to have some sort of, there was the spins, yeah, but also being run off track basically by someone who missed his braking point. Come back, but again, just to fall back thanks to things out of his control. But then turned it around completely, sprint race, good start. Of course, having Staffy there, and Staffy hold on to him for a bit as well, so in the end, got in front, kept it clean, solid race in the sprint race, Maverick.
Yeah, Steffi was like a dog on a leash. I mean, he just pulled me on and on and on and on. But he defended quite well, I must say. Yeah, the feature race was actually quite a bit frustrating because I felt my good pace, and then when I actually challenged Legend and Rob, I felt like I actually did like a couple of moves, and all of a sudden I just felt something hit me at the back. Luckily, it was not a deer yet.
Now, luckily it was not, and you could carry on, but at least still get some solid points. But of course,
Yeah.
good racing all around. Of course, a couple of guys close battles, nice to see. Might actually cause us to say, you know what, let's do F2 all the time because this is great. Like seeing you, a good couple of guys going here wheel to wheel. Guys also at the back having some battles. If we look at the main race, how close all of you were for the first part of that race. Of course then, Rob, Mr. RJDV, unlucky, missed out on the podium in the main race, but got some back here and got second place here in the sprint race.
Yeah, there's not much to say, except for screw the safety car.
But
Completely, after the safety car came back in, I just didn't have pace on the tires anymore. And I didn't know why.
But it looks like your teammate is going to take the fight to you this season because yeah, you two were at it in that main race.
Yeah, but also, yeah, he actually drove very well.
But the more you battled, you actually allowed not Sebastian to get away. He had a 5-second penalty, and for a while, your teammate and Kimi were actually in the running for podium. But then, as you guys kept on fighting, he just got away and had enough of a gap to counter that penalty.
Yeah, but also Kimi on the new tires is not really
that
much
was
to
my
defend.
fault. Pushing the guys, and I could see they were trying to get away, and as close as I got, they started squabbling. So, yeah.
And
Also,
of course,
getting a decent lap in, but you only gain like a 10th.
then I want to say
was
last
fun.
last podium position. So of course, third place here in the sprint race. Of course, the dog on the leash drove well, kept it in front for as long as he could. Then stuck with Maverick for as long as he could until, of course, RJDV came past. Then him and not Sebastian, had a bit of a fight there for that last place. The last podium place, of course, then dropping down to 4th, but never gave up, having the momentum, using DRS to his full advantage and getting that first place right before the line. Of course, third place in the sprint race, Steph, dog on the leash.
Yeah, it was quite a race. I was trying to stay behind Muna the whole time just to stay ahead of fourth behind me, because his gap was closing, and then the DRS in the end helped me out.
But also a big loser thanks to safety car in the main race. Went for a complete different tyre strategy. It started coming to you where you actually had those mediums and a bit of a gap between you and the rest of the guys. You could have just kept on building on that and then all of a sudden gone.
Again, I suffered from the safety car, and as soon as I restart, the car just wouldn't go. Everybody just passed me, and then I also got wing damage, so I had to go pit immediately and ended on doing 15 laps with the red tyres, and I couldn't come back on that.
But of course got the pole on the reverse grid order and you used it to get onto the podium, so still good points there. So I think everybody pretty much here pretty happy.
Nope.
So of course those guys who lost out with a safety car would not be. And I can just see the crash that caused the safety car. That guy's grinning that evil grin.
It's going to be interesting with the full grid, I can tell you that now.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And this is close battles all around, and of course you're not really getting away as much, and as soon as you battle with somebody, it tends to put you under pressure from a car behind, or the guy in front of you actually tends to get away a bit. But as soon as the guy's running in clear air, there's no real battle, then they actually gain on each other again, so this is going to be a good one. But gentlemen, well done, good race, good races for some of you. Of course, it could have been a double podium year for not Sebastian, but I think fourth year in the sprint will actually be greatly accepted as well, especially after
Yeah.
the long absence.
Can take any points.
Exactly, especially with a double retirement in your camp.
Yeah, he loves brownie points as well.
I think the whole ESCOM excuse is he's sweating offline without us even knowing it. That's what's happening.
Won't be surprised. Maybe ESCOM is also on this Crashgate thing. Maybe it needs to be investigated wider.
I can see this
Here's an
busy after this.
here's an interesting fact. I think basically half the people, about 6 people on the podium, that's basically off the grid at the moment.
And the thing is, I think this is going to be interesting if there's no ESCOM and we have more guys on the grid. Some good
Yep.
pace here for guys here on the F2 cars. I mean, even if you look at qualifying, how close it was once. I mean, if it's just the top 3 that broke into the high 116s, pretty much 117 from there. And even at 116 to the 117, it was not that big a gap. Not that we normally see on F1. But gentlemen,
you couldn't get away or catch up. You had to be very constant.
that's it. All about consistency, of course. This is just to start, 9 races still to go. Of course, another 4 F2 races, which of course features the main race and the sprint race. Double points, of course, so F2 is definitely the races you want to do. Double points on the night, so good thing to pitch up and get those points. So off to Belgium for round 2. So same time, same place next week. Of course, just mind the new start time, 8:15 South African time and not the usual 8 o'clock. So 15 minutes later, just for the sake also, to cater for load shedding and so forth. But yeah, next round, high speed. I think that one's going to be interesting as well.
Well,
No, guys, thank you. So,
Thanks, G.
and thank you to
Thanks,
everybody who watched. Thank you for the support. Of course, I see Ronnie made a lot of comments where he kept himself busy with the stream while he couldn't race. So hopefully next week he's also back. So till then, everybody stay safe, and then we'll see you next week. Cheerio.
Cheers.
Cheers.
cheers.